Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
We're back with another Stack Supplement podcast interview, and we have probably one of the most famous guests on the show since, I would say, Jay Cutler, but we have Kevin Levrone from the brand of his own name, Levrone Signature Series. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, man. It's good to be here, and I appreciate all the, what you guys do is unique and everything. So I reached out to you and wanted to be on here, man. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for taking the time. I'm not going to lie, it's very rare that I get to talk to the face or the man of the brand, or the man of the brand is the one actually doing it.
Yeah.
I interviewed one of the guys behind Ronnie. I didn't really get to talk to Ronnie.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to talk to, I guess, the faces. Sometimes it's not always them running the show, but obviously that's the case.
And
here.
I think, honestly, I think that's the problem. That's one of the, I've traveled the world, of course, with Levrone Signature Series and the vision of everything. And it all comes from here. And it's like, being hands-on with the brand is something of your creation. Like for me, it's my creation. The colors, the thoughts, the ideas, everything, and that I think that's one of the huge advantages of just being a face on the product. It's like when you're involved with the creativity of a brand, it's who you are. It comes out, your personality, your thoughts, your ideas. So I think that, all of whatever we go through in life, right, to be able to sum it up into whatever path we're on and everything, to give the people piece of that makes a huge difference when they touch that can and when they touch the product, and be able to go out on the road and give seminars about the product and the vision and your thoughts and your ideas, and just being hands-on with people and being able to guide them through a process of something that you created and everything. It gives it a lot more strength and a lot more. It's just true, right? And when something is true,
it has a little more substance, a little more.
Yeah, it's deep.
Genuine.
It's deep.
It is, and I've always loved those brands that kind of reflect things that. I mean, this is just an example, but I remember seeing a brand, and the guy that made the brand back in the day when he did bodybuilding, he had this specific little formula of carbs and protein and all this, and it was what he used. And then he started the brand, and then people asked him to turn it into a supplement and stuff like that. You wouldn't necessarily get if it's someone else kind of running it and you're the face. And
yeah.
Do you want to give?
It doesn't last. It really doesn't last when things like that happen. It doesn't last because the truth isn't necessarily in the pudding of everything. So yeah.
Do you want to give a brief rundown on the brand? Because I was introduced to the Signature Series. As you know, it's not a huge brand in the US. In fact, a lot of people have always asked me when we share stories, because you guys pump out, I think, even though it's not that popular in the US, it's a very intricate lineup of supplement. It's not a creatine and glutamine. It's pretty.
Let me go back to you right there. Yeah, I mean, we run pretty deep, but it's not even in America. It's not even for sale in America right now. But there's the buzz of it in the United States. I got to give it to you straight, man. The supplement industry in America, it's so saturated. Everybody's coming out with the supplements, right? Everybody has to start an idea that they just want to slap something on. Some bodybuilders, well, because they did this and did that and everything, they think, oh yeah, I can do this. And there's so much more intriguing and involvement that goes beyond starting a nutritional supplement company. Going back to the brand's not available in the US, there's many reasons why I did it that way. One of the main reasons was because I just didn't want to throw something out in America because the market is so challenging and saturated here, and have anything fail. So it's like you have to bring awareness to a product. You have to have your own identity with the product. You have to have something unique and something different about a product. You know, one thing with the Levrone Signature Series, why the traction is so strong and so powerful overseas. Of course, I'm an American guy. Levrone Global is an American company. It's a product that is, it's a brand that is really, it's actually an American brand, but we haven't brought it to America yet. The brand is because of, it's American brand because of me. I, out of all of the 68, 69 bodybuilding shows that I've done, do you know that 90% of those shows were overseas in the European market, you know, on the European tours?
Interesting.
So, yeah, man, you know, every year after Olympia, we would do these European tours and everything. And I was one of the few bodybuilders, me, Chris Cormier, some of us, a lot of us, you know, Lee Priest, Dennis James, you know, we would go overseas on these tours. Spain, Italy, Germany, France, Russia, Holland, Czechoslovakia. So we would hit a lot of countries, and I won, like I said, 90% of my shows, 27 first place, 24 first place that I've got. 90% of those are overseas. So I figured, why not? Why not go over there? Now. Yeah, you know, I was one of the first athletes that went into Russia in 1994 and won, you know, the Russian championships. And then Germany, 2-time, 3-time, you know, champion in Germany and a lot of countries. So I figured, you know, with my marketing team and everything, it would be
that makes a lot more sense
the
now,
best place to. Yeah, not a lot of people know that because we already knew that we had America wrapped up. But what can we do different that no other supplement company has done? And that's to be successful outside of your grid where you are. So, you know, I mean, I have a great marketing team behind me. I have a awesome, also I have a, you know, marketing, you know, not only marketing, but my formulators. I have a great partner, Ted Zarepsky overseas and everything that definitely knows the European market over there. So, you know, Levrone Global is definitely aligned with, you know, some powerful hitters that know the territory overseas as well when it comes to business. So yeah,
that was where I came across Kevin. The Levrone Signature Series was, I lived in Prague in the Czech Republic for 5-6 months, and when we were there, we went to a local store and I saw your signature pose. It was back with the gray stuff,
yeah,
the silver labels, and I go, holy shit, I didn't even know you did one. And then I went to FIBO. This had to have been before you did your comeback, and I saw the line. It was just like huge. I was sort of like, holy shit. I thought that, because there's a lot of brands in the European stores, but you don't see, they're not very popular at shows. I was immediately intrigued, and when I started following the brand, it was shortly after you did the comeback. And I thought that was interesting because a lot of people do it the other way around. They do the comeback and then they bring out the brand in hopes that it's gonna go hand in hand. And
get some legs, yeah.
Did the comeback help with the brand? I have to imagine it did.
The comeback helped tremendously, and it wasn't even planned like that. I mean, matter of fact, my business partner, he says, "Man, what you're crazy for even thinking about coming back." They just thought it was a bad idea. The marketing team, everybody at FA Fitness Authority, they thought it was a bad idea for me to do it. And I said, listen, I have to do it because it's something personal to myself. You know, it had nothing to do with the supplement company. I didn't do it as a, you know, something to try to promote the brand.
Around. It was
it was just something that personally on the side I wanted to do. And I didn't hesitate in making the decision. I just followed my heart, man. I honestly, and you know what? I got dead last, but I tell everyone that was the show that meant the world to me more than any Olympia that I've ever done. Even though I got dead last, but I impacted so many people that it made me feel good, and as well as just the emails and everything that I've got from everyone just saying, wow, you inspired me to get off the sofa and to move forward.
I have to imagine the longtime fans, they always ask for a comeback. They always say it, and like dreams come true, and they got to see it. And I think fans of yours from the '90s, I don't think it would have mattered where you placed. I mean, obviously, if you won, it would have been amazing. But if, like, I don't think it would have mattered. I think they would have just, because a lot of your fans, like, I think you would have accumulated them after your career too. So I think they would have just loved seeing you get on stage as just get on stage. And yeah, I because it was the during your before your comeback at the Olympia when you were at FIBO, I had never seen you before, and then I saw you,
Mm.
and I was like, holy shit! It was you were huge. It was awesome to see firsthand, and I think fans themselves,
Yeah,
the line proved it, because they were
yeah.
going back a stretch. And I was actually going to ask that. I had planned to ask that, but you already answered it. Was, it's so popular in Europe, it kind of makes sense because,
Hmm.
like you were saying, and I know a lot of bodybuilders, such as Ronnie, when they go out there, Marcus Rule as well, they just seem very popular in like Eastern Europe. They just seem to appreciate like those legacy bodybuilders so much more. I've always felt, but to your point, you won all those shows in Europe. That makes a lot of sense. And so
Hmm.
you recently came out with like I said, even though the line isn't in the US, it's an extremely extensive line of supplements, even compared to your modern day Cellucor, Muscle Tech. Like, even you're not the brand's not that known in the US, but it is a huge lineup. You had the silver, you had the white and gold. Now you've got
Hmm.
the black and gold, which looks damn cool. How what's the idea behind these new series? Because
Well,
it's
it's just like when you look at Apple, if you remember the Apple phones when they first came out, and I was walking out, I got this idea for the silver line because Apple phones, what color were they? They were silver, they were plain,
yeah,
right? You remember that?
yeah.
Just plain. And all the other supplement companies back then, they had these bright colors to them and colors, tons of colors everywhere. And I'm a big fan of Apple, phones, and I saw the branding behind it and what Steve Jobs was doing, and I was like, wow. I was like, that's really stripped down, and it's just
Because
really to the point.
he refused to do colors back in his
Yes,
he was completely against it.
and I was like, wow, I'm gonna mimic their marketing, and I did it in the supplement industry, and that's how I came up with the thought of simplicity but powerful. Um, but each year, and then I got this idea of, wow, Mercedes Benz. You take these huge dealerships, these innovators, these guys. Why do they always come out with a new model every year? You know.
Yeah,
So I figured there's always evolving. The industry's always evolving. Technology is always evolving, and food and science and is always evolving. Medicine is always evolving. Well, supplements as well, because each and every year there's always
yeah.
something, a raw ingredient that someone's tapping into. So I figured, why not wrap that into the marketing aspect of it and add, just switch some things around in the ingredients with the designs and come up with the silver line, the black line. This year we came out with the Levrone Gold,
Yeah, the white and gold
signature
ones. Yeah,
series, and that's how the brand has evolved and evolved and evolved. We're one of the first companies to come up with. We have 5 different proteins
yeah.
in one container. So things like this, we're always reaching for what's new, what's next. And by us being in so many different countries around the world globally, we're able to go into the market in India, see what India likes as far as taste. Then we're able to go into the market of Russia. We're able to go into the market of the Eastern European market. We're able to go into the market of China and all of these countries. And as I'm on the road and I'm going into these countries, I'm also collecting data and information on people and what they like and what they gravitate towards. So here at Levrone Global, Levrone Signature Series and everything, along with my manufacturer, FA and everything, FA Engineering. So we've collectively figured out, wow, why not start to figure out, do our marketing in that area, targeted marketing space of that country, because each country thinks different than America. They think different. People in China think different than the people in England. Their personalities are totally different. So we figured, why not just
tailor
make
the
something
line
unique and specifically for that targeted market group. And we've done that. And then each year I go on tour. I visited within the last 24 months, close to 3 years, 24 different countries. So I go out and tour the ground, see what distributors, see what's selling, see what distributors like, and I'm there hands-on with the product. And I think that also helps tremendously with evolving the brand as well.
I found a lot of the countries in Asia and Middle East, they do incredibly appreciate guys, the faces coming to those countries, especially in like Asia. It means a lot to them in respect and just, making the effort to go down there or over there. And I found that too, that everyone in different countries, the taste is different. Like in America, it's watermelon, blue raspberry. In Australia,
strawberry.
In Australia, it's they like more pineapple, peach, mango, and then you get into some of the Eastern European, and it's completely different again.
Yeah.
I remember shopping around. Cola is a big one. That's not a flavor that you ever see in supplements in America, but it's quite popular in the UK, a lot of Europe. And yeah, to your point, I think it's genius because a lot of companies don't make that effort to kind of put the one brand out, try and make it appeal to the world. And that is, in my experience, never going to be the case. It's impossible to do. But I feel like you're underselling it when you said that you made small tweaks to your lines. You didn't make small tweaks, you make some pretty big adjustments. And I would say that over the years, because the silver line wasn't basic, but at the time, it was kind of straightforward. The European market has always kind of been with the restrictions, but with the black and the white and gold, you loaded the shit out of those things. Like I feel the formulas, some of the best I've seen for Europe, because a lot of them are trying to tailor themselves for just Europe as in general, and the formulas just but you've put together some solid stuff, and I have to bring up the Shaboom pump, like the supplements you did. Was that with the comeback, because it was like a key word that you threw out in the training.
And just so happened I was in the gym one day and I was like, Shaboom, I got it, Shaboom. I was like, man, wow, Shaboom. It just caught on, right?
I remember,
and this is one of those things. Yeah, man. It's almost like how I came up with my side most muscular pose. One day I was just on stage and I never put a posing routine together. And I never practiced my posing routines. I would always pick the music out, had no idea what my posing routine was going to be, just go on stage and just go by how I feel, And it's like, wow, it's a great routine. I'm like, oh, really? Had no idea, because in the moment, when you're in the moment, you come up with those things that are just original. It's you. It's just original, and that's how Shaboom was came up about. In the gym when I was training for my comeback, and we decided to make a pre-workout out of it. Going back to like the formulations for like as you said, the silver line is straightforward, because there's people like me who, we have the BCAAs in our black line and also in the gold line, with the essential amino acids as well and things like this. Certain creatines are added in there. But once in a while, you want to go back to the basics, because the basics always work. Straight whey protein, straight iso whey without BCAAs or anything in it. And sometimes, like, we got the black line. The black line has AM It's a fast release protein mixed with the slow casein. So that's a AM, PM time release. These things, so there's a fit for, I think, each and every individual with whatever line they decide they want to gravitate towards to fit whatever purpose it is that they're trying to train,
So there is sort of a different goal behind each line, because I did notice that I
Oh,
felt like the black
definitely.
one was just, even though the gold, white and gold came out after the black, I feel like the black was obviously, because this black and gold has that more hardcore appeal, but I also feel the categories you hit in that black line, because you just dropped the test booster for the black series as
Hmm.
well. I just feel
Right.
that that line as a whole just seems like that was the goal, be more intense, hardcore kind of stuff.
Yeah, it was, that was the goal with the black line, a little more anabolic and
Yeah,
involvement, the names and everything. And those names and everything right there, they fly because it's like it's not you think of anabolic, you think steroids, right? So this is like the closest thing. It's just this anabolic combination of nutritional ingredients jammed into, a product, So that's kind of like where we were going. And it's flying off the shelves. People love it.
and
They love it. And go ahead.
the white and gold was the one that kind of just feels more like a, not necessarily wellness, but more of a life, like a general for a much wider audience, I guess. That's kind of what I get the
You're
sense
talking
of.
about the Levrone Gold line. Levrone Gold line. Let me tell you something unique about that. Well, we teamed up with Vitargo,
Yeah,
and Vitargo is not in any of our other products, but Vitargo is a scientifically proven product that you know how it is when you're in a gym and you feel flat and everything. It's a carb loader,
yeah.
So we wanted to add that in the goal line. And then also the goal line, when we came up with the goal line, I was like, team and I, we were like, well, let's amp it up. Let's come out with a 27-gram serving of protein, and that's not in any of our any other of our products. 27 grams of pure, protein is hard to come by nowadays, especially to get it taste
20,
good and
20,
everything.
25 is usually the one that we see.
Yeah, when we're at 27 with that, and then the goal line, we came out with the Maryland Muscle Machine
That was another cool one I
pre-workout.
liked.
Yeah, so they, each one of the brands, each one of the SKUs, they have their own unique legs to stand on. And like I said, depending on how you feel that day, depending on what it is that you're trying to do, you can reach out, and we just try to provide something for each and every lifestyle, whether you're a CrossFit trainer or a marathon runner or a hardcore bodybuilder. We try to support the workload as far as supplements that you're trying to, that can help you heal your body in a short period of time.
That was something I was interested in, because I did notice that you didn't discontinue each line each time you came out with a new one, which is
No,
typically what brands do. But I did notice that there were some things that gave it reason to stay around. Like you said, Black Line was the more hardcore bodybuilder kind of workout line. Then you had the gray, or the silver, which was that, like you said,
straightforward,
yeah,
straightforward quality products that you can believe in, that people are so used to, because realize that some of the countries, people want to straight creatine,
yeah,
and
especially
they're
in
able
Europe.
to get that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're able to get just that straight creatine. So Levrone Silver is this straightforward
it's still
formulation.
relevant.
It's we started off with, we got the Levro Mass, we got the Levro Supreme Way, and then we have the ISO Way, and the difference between those three proteins is just the carb ratio.
Yeah,
The Levro Mass is for heart gainers like myself. I
yeah.
have super fast metabolism, so you have to load it up with carbs and as well as equal protein. The Supreme Way, that right there has a lot less carbs than the Levro Mass, but the ISO Way has almost
Oh,
zero
zero.
carbs at all. Yeah, so if you're an athlete on the off season, try to bulk up, cool. You go with the Levro Mass. If you're in contest mode and you want to drink protein, then you go with the ISO, then going over to, the black line, we're like, wow,
You pretty much
let's throw,
expanded every
yeah,
little area
5
with
different
that one.
proteins in one container. And then we're like, well, let's add fast release protein with the slow casein protein and see what happens there. And then we're like, okay, well, let's do some BCAAs. And then in that black line, we also came out with creatine. We decided to put 10 different creatines together, in one serving. So yeah, we're like hitting it everywhere. And I'm going to tell you, man, it's all of those lines are selling equally. Each one of those lines
Interesting.
have their own fan and their own market that will gravitate towards them and stay loyal towards them, And with the Levrone, with the gold line, like I said, we got the Maryland Muscle Machine, we got the 27 grams of protein. These 27 grams of protein isn't in any of the other lines. And then we got the Vitargo and stuff like that. And we got the Levro Energy, Levro Energizer, that's for like endurance athletes if you want to run marathons and all this stuff. So we always, the team always search the market and see what's going on now, but we always try to invent products to stay ahead of the market as well. And I feel as though we've certainly done that, man.
You must have one hell of a hard time keeping up with the stock, because I know brands complain when they have a few. You have.
I love it. And listen, let me tell you something. We're one of the first companies, American companies. I want to say American company because I'm an American bodybuilder. And I got a lot of flack over this when I would always go out and do tours and stuff. And a lot of the American distributors didn't like it, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to come out with the proprietary blend, because I want my fans to know exactly down to the servings and what is in that product. And remember, a lot of companies here in America, they would always come out with these proprietary blends.
Yeah.
They would say, oh, we have this, we have this, we have this, but they would not disclose how many milligrams, on the ingredients. And I just wanted to be, we wanted to be very, very transparent. Like my bodybuilding career is upfront and transparent. And I got ran into that, over here 5 years ago, when I was like, well, I want to come out with the product. And they're like, well, you got to bring awareness. You got to do this. You got to do that. Well, we don't really think you should do a product that's a non-proprietary blend. I was like, why? They're like, because everything we have here is proprietary blends and you're going against what we believe in. And I said, all right, okay. I'll come back and I'll see you when. And now guess what's happened? The trend here in America, everybody's switching.
Yeah, everyone's switched.
Right?
Yeah, it was, I think it was a few 4 years ago, maybe. It just, one did it, two did it, everyone.
It started shifting.
It's
But
the complete opposite.
yeah.
Well,
we were ahead of that years ago, 5.5 years ago,
With the silver, the black, the white, gold. I mean, do you have any ideas on where you're potentially going next, even if you haven't thought about it? Because like I said,
of course.
There are a few areas you haven't touched. Very few.
You mean far as the formulations and everything?
Whatever the next line. Because I mean,
we have formulations right now, designed up right now for the market within the next 2 years. My business partner.
Oh wow.
He's a genius, man. This guy's
very
incredible.
Forward thinking.
He's incredible.
He is.
I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, Ted is incredible. He's far as the designs, like he's already sending me protein designs, thoughts and ideas where he wants to go with this. And you know what I do? I'm like, you know what? Okay, we'll sit down and we'll talk about it, because it's not about just coming out with the product. It's coming out with a product that makes sense. It's coming out with a product that I understand, a product that has that space in the marketplace to where, because we're trying to take people's minds, because they're so programmed, to move them to another level, right? And we've been able to do that. But it's no different than what Apple is doing each year. I mean, they came out with the 4, the 5, the 6, the 8, the 10, the 12, and now it's got 3 cameras. They had 1 camera. it's the same thing, no difference in Mercedes-Benz or Ferrari, Lamborghini, so it can certainly be done. So hey, um, I'm just part of the puzzle that goes together. I sit back and I listen to the masterminds that know what works, and I say, okay, let's try it. Let's give it a try. And believe me, it's not easy. It's not easy. People think that they can start a nutritional company, but my advice for someone who's out there who's trying to do this, it's like, be true to who you are. Find your space and be true to who you are. You can get ideas from others, but at the end of the day, just make it about you. Make it about your vision, whatever it is. Not only just nutrition, but the true success lies in originality. You cannot be a copycat and think that you're going to come up with a series that Kevin Levrone has done and is going to be successful. I mean, it's just not going to happen. I've spent endless nights of on the road, traveling the countries, Dubai, Baghdad, Iraq, and Kuwait, places where, you wouldn't even think that an American could go into. I went in there and studied the market, and it's just a lot going on, and you got to come from that place of your heart. When you believe in something so much and so powerful, you're not concerned about people telling you can't do this and you can't do that. It's like, you can do it because you believe in it so much. You move forward, and then the pieces and the puzzles will end up falling into place. And I would have never thought that we'd be where we are right now, 5.5 years later. We're in over 80 different countries around the world.
Wow.
Thank God. And but I mean, the downside to that is I've
Been working
missed a
really.
lot of my son's football games. I missed a lot of my son's football games. I've been out of my comfort zone a lot, but I've also enjoyed going into countries and studying the culture of individuals and learning so much about people in the world and having this broad view of what the world really has to offer outside of the United States. And I think this has certainly helped the line as well. So
I can tell you right now that when you said that it takes a lot of vision and just originality, I would say 95% of companies, or 90%, aren't like that. In fact, I can tell you that 95% would not be planning a line 2 years down the road like you guys
yeah,
are now. That kind of
we
organization. I could only name maybe 3 that I know that can sit there and tell me we're working on this for 2 to 3 years. I would almost say that's unheard of. And I talk to a lot of brands, like thousands. So I would say that kind of organization, planning, effort, and just focus to detail, that's impressive. I have to say.
Thank you. Thanks, man. And going back to like hands-on with it, I always, when I go out and I give the seminars, it's not about me selling products. It's about me inspiring individuals to say, you know what, I was that kid who had a dream and had a vision. And whether you want to be a scientist, doctor, or a professional bodybuilder, or construction, or whatever it is, just believe in yourself first, and then follow your heart, and then you'll find your destiny. And that's what it's all about. And it's not your religion and all these other things, the color of your skin. Yeah, that's cool. Our heritage is very, it's who we are. But the bottom line is, no matter what you go through in life, be able, good or bad, or whatever it is, put you aside and put people before you and reach out and touch people. And I think the message behind Levrone's signature series is just that. I grew up, my father died when I was 10, from cancer in 30 days. First funeral I ever went to was my father's. My mother died when I was early 20s, 2 years before I turned pro. So I know what that pain feels like, and I had no directions on anything in life, how to about credit or anything about anything, but somehow I found my way through working out and was able to turn it into um, a, a greater opportunity to support myself, but also give back to people and say, listen, I was you one day. I was that kid one day that was lost. I was that person who didn't know what to do and things. And that message behind that message is in front of the Levrone Signature Series. That comes after I've already been through those things, right?
Yeah.
So that's really what it's about. When I go out on the road, I go to see people and spend time with people because I care about them. It makes me feel good that they welcome me there. And then, you know what? The perk to it is the fact that this is what I've created and I want you to be part of it. And it's a supplement line that I believe in. And then they feel like, wow, we trust Kevin, and it's not about the money. It's just about the love and the passion and what you can pass on to an individual through whatever it is that you've been through, so the Signature Series and all that stuff is just a piece of that journey that I share. And I guess it's just, they always say, find what your passion in life, and then the success will come. But I don't look at the success. I just still live in my passion. So that's what it's all about. And I think that's what sets the brand apart from just a face on something, or athletes saying, well, I'm this and I want to sign this company and they're going to pay me all this money because of what I've accomplished. It's not about what you've accomplished, That's not what it's about. It's about who you are, and are you willing to share your pain and everything you went through with someone, are you there? Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's right.
And then everything else will come. So, that's it, man.
That, yeah, I like how you said that's it. It wasn't as short as that's it, but that was fantastic. That was fantastic hearing. I
Yeah.
guess the passion behind the brand. It's not often, in fact, like I said, it's very rare you hear that kind of stuff from someone behind the brand. So
Mhm.
I appreciate you taking the time again. It was
Thank you,
fantastic
man.
having you on. It was great conversation. I'm looking forward to everything
Thank
that's
you.
coming. Good. Again, it sounds like it's not something that's been in the works a few weeks. It sounds like everything you drop is months,
Yeah.
years in the making. So yeah, again, once again, thank you for coming on and taking the time.
Thank you, man. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much, Shane. It's been great. And I'm finally glad that I see the face behind what you guys are doing, man. And I told my partner, I'm like, who are these guys? Do you know them or something? Because you guys would always pop up with something and you're always on top of what we're doing. And I was like, I went to, your site and everything. And that's when I shot you the message. I'm like, you know what? I really appreciate you guys just giving us the attention that you're doing. And thanks a lot for that, man. So,
No,
and thanks a
it's my
lot
pleasure.
for offering to have me come on to explain to the viewers and everybody about the Levrone Signature Series and where we're at, how we came about, and where we're going in the future. So